Hello. Let's analyze what the S&P 500 decided to do today, Friday, March 4, 2022. This is a daily chart of the S&P 500. Today was down 34 points. Big sell-off. Was able to bounce at the end of the day, but it's still a negative day. Let me start with the negatives. Big sell-off. Close below the 5-day moving average. Positives, was able to bounce above that very strong pivot point, support point, 42.90, which has been very strong support. If I zoom out, you'll see that was also support in January, a few weeks ago, and was able to bounce up from that level. So that was a positive. Still in that range, as I mentioned. In my previous video, I mentioned that if it dipped below that green zone where it closed, basically the low from 2 days ago, that it would be a short. Big gap down today, quickly sold off. So when it dipped below that, I decided to wait for further confirmation and trigger the other, or watch the other level point, the other green zone support around 42.90. And how it happened during the day before noon, it was able to reach below 42.90. In fact, went down 6 points below that. At that point, I'm watching it bounce from there. That happened, like I said, around 11 o'clock in the morning. I put my limit order to execute to short the S&P 500 if it dipped below the low of day. But that didn't happen. Instead, it decided to bounce. Let's look at the 5-day minute chart so you can look at the intraday action. Here's the 5-minute chart. To the left, that's where it opened. Quickly sold off. Bounce, sold off again, and then here's the low, 42.84, and it never went back down to that level, as my order was already ready to go, but never executed. And instead, like I said, we got a big bounce, closing about 45 points from the lows. So that was a nice bounce. Going back to the daily, levels that I'll be watching on Monday will be the same. If it dips below 42.90, that will give me a sell signal. And when I said a sell signal, it's a sell signal to sell short. And I'm watching very closely, looking for an entry point below that point. Just because it dips 2 points below that, my order does not automatically execute. Like I said, I like watching the price patterns below that level before I execute. To the upside, now 43.90. So levels 43.90 and 42.90. That's a 100-point trading range that I'll be watching. Anything in between, I'm not participating. It will be very choppy. It's between those two pivot points and between all these moving averages, the 20, the 5, and the 10. Around 4,400, 43.90, that's where you have that 20-day moving average and that pivot point. If it can push above that in the next couple of trading sessions, then that will give me a buy signal. But if it happens on Monday, I don't think I will be buying. There will be a big rally, and I will be a little more hesitant to buy. However, I will be watching that in real time. So if I get the signal, I might go long also. But those are the ranges that I'll be watching. And solid lines, 44.90 and 42.90. Breaks below that, sell short. Above that, go long. Thanks for stopping by. And remember to always have a plan and always